Nagbabalik ang schoolmates. So, syempre, paalala lamang na walang tama o maling sagot sa ating debate. Ang ating programa ay isang platform lamang upang marinig ang perspective o iba't ibang pananaw ng ating mga kabataan. At bago tayo tumuloy sa ating debate, narito muna ang a few debate rules. Panoorin po natin to.
May dalawang teams na maglalaban, ang Team Pro at Team Con, na may tig-tatlong miyembro. Ang team leaders ang unang sasalang sa ating debate. Para sa bawat tanong, may 3 rounds or lives ang bawat isa na may 30 seconds per speaker per round. Kapag sobrang intense at walang gustong magpatalo, we activate the bonus round. 1 minute and 30 seconds yan na free flow discussion. Meaning, bahala na magsagutan ang magkabilang panig. Pero kung halimbawa, hindi na makarebat ang naunang debater, pwede siyang mag-buzz para palitan ng ibang team member. Ito ang twist. Bilang mga host, may kapangyarihan kaming mag-buzz sa gitna ng laban. Kung medyo off, boring, o hindi kami satisfied sa sagot ng sinumang debater, we can buzz you out at papalitan ng ibang team member. Kaya make sure na hindi lang matalino ang sagot nyo. Dapat klaro, direkta, at convincing. Bring your best arguments.
So ayan, ngayon simulan na natin ang ating debate. So exciting times ahead, no? So alam na natin ang ating topic for today. So dapat nga bang ipagbawal ang fraternity at sorority sa mga paaralan? Marky.
Unang-una ho, gusto naming sabihin na we recognize the constitutional right of fraternity to associate and form associations and its fraternities to exist, but outside campus premises. Because there are already academic organizations and registered student organizations that already provide opportunities for students for student development, growth, leadership, networks, connections, and these connections that fraternities do offer or claim to offer. It's not mutually exclusive na lang sa kanila. Hindi na yun natatapos lang sa fraternities. Therefore, at the same time, universities can actually strive and survive even without the existence of fraternities. They are outdated and they need to be abolished.
Okay, maraming salamat, Marky. Max.
We should keep fraternities. As you mentioned earlier, it is the same essence of organizations. Ano nga ba yung fraternities as well? They are groups of people who have the same ideologies, same goals, same objectives. Samahan ito ng mga tao just like the organization. This is an organization of people who have similar ideologies, who fight for what they fight for. Kasi nasa essence ito ng ating mga university, ng ating mga schools, for have differing opinions, ideologies that differ from what we know in organizations, what was created on organizations by the university, by these schools.
Okay. Sige, dahil nabanggitan natin yung opening parameter, no? So, mag-delve deeper tayo. So, bakit nga ba? Yun yung mga nabanggit yung argumento. So, sa kabila ng anti-hazing law, bakit patuloy pa rin yung mga insidente ng karahasan sa mga fraternities? If you are saying that the benefits of fraternities are not mutually exclusive, and in your case naman, sinasabi mo, there is a benefit in fraternities where they're similarly the same organizations as any other organization, bakit pa rin patuloy ang mga insidente ng karahasan sa mga fraternities?
Kaya ho, patuloy pa rin ang karahasan sa mga fraternities despite the anti-hazing law, because fraternities are already institutionalized in the system, in the patronage and nepotism system in the Philippines, and especially major universities, known and prestigious universities are known to have fraternities. And so these are already institutionalized. But the thing is, that's the reason why there's propagation of this violence pa rin despite the anti-hazing law. Bakit? Kasi sino ba yung mga nasa taas? The mga nasa taas is yung mga tao na frat members din before. Therefore, they are compliant to protect or be loyal to their members or yung mga new generations of their fraternity. They have to keep it alive. And may utang na loob sila to do that.
Okay, Max?
Fraternities are there for a reason. We have these cases of hazing. Pero bakit nga ba nagkakaroon ng hazing? Dahil problema yun ng mga tao na nandun sa fraternities. Hindi yung problema ng fraternities themselves, the organizations, the core purpose of these organizations, of these fraternities. Bakit nagkakaroon ng mga cases na ganito? Because nagpapabaya yung mga schools. They don't safeguard their institutions, their organizations, these fraternities. Ang nangyayari yung mga cases na ganito, dahil yung mga tao mismo, sila yung gumagawa. Hindi to kasalanan ng mga fraternities fraternities themselves, and they're not the sole purpose of these cases.
So the thing is, you're trying to blame universities in this matter when in fact they have the prerogative to abolish this these fraternities because they can actually survive and even thrive and provide opportunities for students' growth and development despite not having fraternities exist in their campuses. At the same time, the reason why there is propagating violence within the society kahit na may anti-hazing law is because yung mga tao na nandun na nasa taas nga, they are having lip service at yung mga tao na nasa baba, natatakot sila because these fraternities have institutionalized influence, power, and they have powers that people cannot betray because katulad ng halimbawa sa Horacio Castillo case, the Horacio Castillo case and UST, they say na yung fraternity nila is adhering to anti-hazing. But then, why did Horacio Castillo still died? Despite doing that, despite adhering to the amendment that happened because of other precedents of people that died from hazing.
You're already agreeing to the argument that people themselves are the root cause, are the problem of why cases like this, why hazing happens. Ayun nga, yung sa UST case, pabayaan yung government, the institutions themselves, the schools, yeah, they have safeguards. But why are they not properly implementing these safeguards to protect their students? Sila yung may capabilities, sila yung nasa taas, sila ang dapat
This is the
tumulong
reason-
sa mga estudyante at
Yes.
sa ating mga estudyante na nasa part ng fraternities and these kinds of organizations.
And this is the reason why we are pro-abolishment of institutions within the school premises. Because then again, the connections, the networks, and the power, even the experiences and influence, that can be gained through student organizations, yung academic organizations. And therefore, yung mga bagay na to, ito yung mga panglure at pangligaw ng mga fraternities sa mga bata, sa mga freshmen to navigate their college life. And since meron na mga better alternatives, why it negates the existence, the need for existence of fraternities within the campus premises. Kasi kahit na on our side, we recognize their constitutional right to exist outside, but it's not needed in these campuses anymore.
You're already supporting the argument na why schools should support these fraternities.
No, I'm not saying
They have the
They have
same
to abolish
mandate,
it.
they have the
They
same
have to abolish it
constitutional
because
right
we already-
of organizations. Dapat yung school yung nagproprotekta.
Okay,
Dapat yung
that's
school
true.
yung
Therefore, we
nagkakaroon
should
ng safeguards as well. Because ito nga, they have the same objectives, same ideologies as other organizations. So bakit lang nililimit natin ito within organizations? And why are you limiting and silencing out other organizations and fraternities as well?
So this is the reason why we are exactly pro-abolishment because there are already a lot of stigma. There's already a lot of hazing cases that's happened within the campus premises. Therefore, it is just radical change for campus to consider na i-abolish na to kahit constitutional right to kasi okay lang naman na wala siya sa school. At okay lang na sige, bigay na namin sa inyo sa labas, but yung school sa amin na yon because we have better alternatives for students na walang risk of hazing, walang risk of death, and walang risk of sacrificing of personal freedom to be compliant to its own regulations ng fraternities. Kasi yung fraternities,
Yun
may
nga,
sarili silang
you're
regulations
promoting
at
the
mayroon
same
pang sarili.
ideologies. You want to promote different avenues as well for the students. We are promoting different avenues, different ideologies. Dahil hindi lang nakasaklaw sa organizations na pinoprovide ng universities, ng schools na ito, within those provisions, within the existing organizations. Dahil may fraternities, dahil dito, nagproprovide sila ng different avenues that are not constrained within the institution, that are not constrained within the norms of what we call as ideologies, as objectives. Dahil maraming different avenues. Dahil sa fraternities na ito.
But it's still a prerogative of university to accept the existence of these fraternities or not. Kasi marami pa rin namang universidad na nagtitribe at nasusurvive kahit walang fraternities Even with, for example, in our school and National University, it's thrive and survive kahit walang ganun. It has initiatives and events because of like student organizations only, student government, for leadership and experience and influence. And we also have this organization of alumni with universities. So hindi na natin kailangan ng connection pa from fraternities kasi yung academic institutions itself ng university, they can provide that already. So
You're already
kaya wala-
silencing out opportunities.
Okay, maraming salamat, Max. Parang hindi pa sa... Wait lang, nandalit. So, Max and Marky, makipalit muna tayo. Francine and Elaine. Sige, dagdagan natin no, ng another layer yung binanggit nyo kanina. So, I think, or correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you can elaborate further, no? May your arguments are of the same banana, just a different lens on it. Na parang alternative organizations yung binabanggit natin and the right to group together no based on the same ideologies. Pero hindi natin maikakalila na meron pa rin nangyayaring mga hazing cases, no? So masasabi ba nating isolated cases lamang ba ito or is it bahagi ng culture of violence na quote-unquote pinopropagate nga daw sa loob ng fraternities and even sororities? Aling?
That's why we definitely agree na dapat i-abolish siya inside the school because itong mga nangyayaring violence, nandun na siya mismo
Okay.
with the fraternities and sororities. Nadadama yung mga estudyante, nagkakaroon sila ng avenue ng mangyari, mas maraming estudyante ang nadadamay, and we have proven na nangyayari ito. May mga cases. We don't have just salilig cases, we also have Horatio cases na matagal yung process. Nangyari siya sa school at hindi siya pinayagan ng school. Marami ng taon, marami ng dekada yung nagdaan na pinayagan siya.
Okay.
Then now, pinagsakan tayo ng mga sunod-sunod na cases. Then now, we're out of it. Tapos na, okay na, we had enough. Now, it's time to abolish it.
We view fraternities and sororities in such a bad light. And for us, it is of course unconstitutional at hindi talaga po pwedeng i-abolish completely ang fraternities and sororities when it comes to formal institutions. We are too focused sa mga institusyon ng mismong paaralan that we tend to forget and overlook that there are other hegemonized or there are other institutions which is the fraternities and sororities na sila yung mismong kumukontra at tumataligsa when it comes to those culture of violence. But for us, hindi talaga
Pero mas madaming cases, mas maraming kaso na marami ng violence na nangyayari kaysa dun sa light na mas maganda. So, hahayaan pa ba natin? Isa pa bang dekada? Isa pa bang kaso? Isa pa bang brotherhood? Isa pa bang lalaki na matatagpuan sa kung saan? Dahil gustong maging kapatid at yung mga kapatid, tinuring ba siyang kapatid? We are abolishing it inside the campus because we are giving the avenue to the fraternities to it. Kung gusto nating magkaroon of fraternities, we are okay with it outside, but not inside the school. We have proven, like what Marky said, na okay siya outside, but inside, we have cases. May facts tayo for that.
Given the cases na mga binanggit ninyo, fraternities and sororities inside the campus will happen eventually. It will happen. Believe me.
So it's okay.
Hindi talaga siya mawawala. At kung a-abolish natin ang mismong fraternities, talagang hindi natin siya mariregulate palalo. It will only exacerbate the harmful effects na sinasabi ninyo dahil mawawala na ng grip at mawawala na ng grit ang mga formal institutions like the education system when it comes to handling those mismong mga fraternities and sororities. So if you were to abolish those said fraternities, talagang mawawala na lang tayo ng mismong embedded system and of course embedded monitoring system when it comes to those inside the campus.
Sige, para mas elaborate pa natin further, kung ipagbabawal ang fraternities and sororities, kasi I think this is one of the parameters that you guys have laid out, hindi ba nito tinatanggal ang freedom of association ng mga estudyante? Aline?
No. We're just abolishing it inside. Inside the school, marami pa tayong...
What is the difference? Sorry. If we remove it inside and it still exists outside. What is the
mababawasan yung
Okay.
sistema ng connection system.
Okay.
Pwede yun outside.
Okay.
Yun yung sinasabi namin na pwede siya outside.
Okay.
Okay lang siya mangyari outside. Not yung fraternities, hindi yung violence.
Okay.
Pero inside the school, it has proven a lot of cases already.
Okay.
And we had enough of it.
Okay. Francine.
Connection system is not that bad. Connection system is not entirely bad. those fraternities, those sororities serve as a civil society inside that formal institution. So they are the ones who challenge the institutionalized hegemony when it comes to the actual system inside the school. So hindi naman natin talaga kailangan or hindi talaga it is unjustly to generalize that fraternities and sororities are entirely bad dahil sila mismo yung tumutuligsa when it comes to other aspects ng mismong institution other than that formal.
Okay, free flow.
Pero marami na. Pero marami pang ibang organizations inside the school maliban sa mga sororities at fraternities na pwede magkaroon ng violence.
But ano ang difference when it comes to formal organizations sa school? When it comes to sororities and fraternities, meron naman silang kanya-kanyang initiations. Hindi lang naman nangyayari sa mga fraternities yung mga ritual
Initiations
na
that we have proven that is not
And if
that
ever man
violent.
na i-abolish natin ang mga fraternities and sororities, again, mawawalan lang ng grip, mawawalan lang ng hawak ang mga formal institution when it comes to properly maintaining and properly monitoring yung mga nasabing regulations sa mga ating mga fraternities.
If it is really monitored, like what you said, bakit meron pa ding nangyari? Bakit may nangyayari pa din? At bakit may mga school pa rin na tinigil na
So when it
in-abolish
comes
na
that, there is
inside
a
their system?
counterculture when it comes to youth. Hindi na, at sinabi nyo, when it comes to dogmatality, nagbabago ang sistema when it comes to the fraternities and sororities. There are countercultures, according to Scott. Meron na rin tayong nag-emerge na iba pang mindset when it comes to new members of the fraternities. So sinabi nyo na stuck ang mga fraternities sa nakaraan, but it's not. The reality is it's not. So the connection system, the power system, and all of the other institutions and integrations of that elements when it comes to societies and of course the fraternities, hindi siya nakakasama sa mga estudyante, but of course it only furthering the exacerbating of those regulations. Kailangan na lang, imbis na i-abolish natin, kailangan talaga na magkaroon
Amendments
pa.
na naman.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sige. Palit muna tayo siguro, no? Alaine and Francine, let's give way to Ken and Anton. Gusto ko kasi maintindihan how different is the argument. Kasi your main thing is you're okay with it existing outside but not inside schools. Bakit? Question mark. Yun yung hindi ko maintindihan. And also on your end, na parang we are questioning the freedom of association of students. What is the cost-benefit analysis of having fraternities and sororities still exist given the current risks or current facts that are being laid out by the counter team? Sabi sa Vera Files, kaya may hazing, ito daw ay a test of commitment or loyalty. Dahil ito ay tinuturing na rite of passage. Makatarungan ba na ipagpatuloy ang mga initiation rites na ito kahit may kasamang panganib? Anton?
Okay, well, I just want to start by saying that the reason why we want to emphasize sororities and fraternities from being formed or functioning outside of schools is so that we can give emphasis to much safer student organizations. Safer because they have no cases of hazing. Safer because they promote the same attributes, the same benefits, the same advantages, but without the violence. And so if they function outside of the school institution, then mas syempre the gender and development groups, the Red Cross groups, they can promote the same kind of the brotherhood, sisterhood, the same kind of connection that you would find in fraternities and sororities without the violence.
Okay, thank you so much, Anton.
Okay, tandaan natin, pag tinanggal kasi natin yung mga fraternities at sororities sa ating mga loob ng eskwelahan, ay mas malaking risk nito kasi walang magbabantay, no? So, much better kung inside the schools, we should not abolish it because definitely, not all of those fraternities that existing right now is masama naman. Tingnan natin, may fraternities and sororities that exist sa University of the Philippines and majority of them are helping those students and their freshmen into their academic performance and such. At tandaan natin, majority ng ating mga lawyers is also part of the fraternities and sororities.
Okay, sige. Anton, what do you have to say to that?
Well, you know, I find it funny because you're able to shift the blame from one actor to another whenever it's convenient for you. You go from the blame is supposed to be on the school, then the blame is supposed to be on the student, and then the blame is supposed to be on the fraternity. But then when you talk about, oh, we have to monitor, that's a school's responsibility. But no, fundamentally, a fraternity is actually an exclusive social group. It's not meant to function together with the school. It's meant to function within the community of the people that it finds that are similar with one another. So, mas syempre, these fraternities and sororities, they will function however they like, whether they're within or outside the school. The only difference is yung mga new members that are not members yet, we're allowing them the safer option to actually have the connections that they can find sa fraternities, but without the violence. That's the main point.
Okay, thank you, Anton.
Actually nga, doon natin makikita na yung fraternities and sororities is also an avenue for the students to propose or to give or magsalita patungkol sa mga social issues, di ba? Kasi hindi lahat ng mga eskwela at hindi lahat ng universidad pinapayagan ng kanilang university councils, pinapayagan ng kanilang university organizations na magsalita patungkol sa mga social issues.
Okay, so
But the
freedom.
fraternities and sororities are given the space para mapagsalita sila patungkol dito. At tandaan natin na hindi lamang hazing yung ating dapat tinitingnan pagtitingin sa fraternities, no? Dapat tinitingnan din natin yung benefits na nakikita natin pagkakaroon ng fraternities and sororities.
Okay, sige. I want to dig deeper into the culture of sororities and fraternities. Kasi what yun alam natin is a brotherhood and a sisterhood or a sense of belongingness with the same ideologies, which is the generic sense of an organization. Diba? So, why do you think there are initiation rites or parang tinatawag nilang rites of passage? What does that do? And in your case, does it really strengthen the bond within a brotherhood or a sisterhood? Nagkakaroon ba ng stronger loyalty, ika nga, sa loob ng sistema ng fraternities and sororities na hindi na i-offer ng ibang organisasyon? Anton?
I guess to answer that question, you have to identify first or distinguish what the meaning of brotherhood or sisterhood is. If you want to refer to brotherhood or sisterhood as being connections, then maybe the reason why they want to have these initiation rites is to prove that they're able to handle that form of connection. But then again, that level of connection, is that appropriate for the level that they are entering within the school? Let's say, sino ba yung usually pumapasok sa mga fraternities? Di ba yung mga freshmen, the new recruits?
Sophomores,
So
yeah.
let's say freshmen, sophomores, are they supposed to have that level of loyalty, that level of degree? Are they supposed to enter that rite of passage to begin with? My answer is no. The same advantages that you're talking about, you can find in much safer organizations.
Tandaan natin yung konsepto ng hazing at yung konsepto ng initiation ay isang patriarchal na konsepto na ibinaon sa ating isipan, no? Tandaan natin, magkaiba ang konsepto ng fraternity at magkaiba ang konsepto ng hazing. The concept of the fraternity itself is to create the bonds together with the brotherhood and with the sisterhood. Sadyang pumapasok lang yung issue ng hazing dahil nanatili sa utak nating Pilipino ang patriarchal na sistema na kung saan dapat maging malakas ka para makisama ka, no? Ang dapat nating agbaguhin nito is mas mahigpit na pag-implement ng anti-hazing law, hindi yung pagtanggal mismo ng ating fraternities and sororities.
But the anti-hazing law is not meant to be a cure. It's meant to be the prevention. The anti-hazing bill cannot cure a dead person. The only reason why it's there is so that we can stop such scenarios from happening. But the thing is, the majority of the news reports about fraternities and sororities nowadays, it's more often than not the bad things that happen, the murders, the failed initiation rites. So what's the point of the anti-hazing law if it cannot cure the dead person, if it cannot prevent the scenario from happening? Then the reason, what we should do is we should abolish it kasi nga, the prevention is not working
Ayon,
anymore.
tandaan nga natin, no, na kaya nga nag-exist sila. Nag-exist ang anti-hazing law para maging pamantayan, para mahinto ito. Kailangan natin dagdagan yung pangil nito para ma-secure natin na hindi lang siya
naiintindihan ko yung
basta-basta
sinasabi mo.
magagamit sa masama.
And how many people would have to die until you put enough teeth on that law? My point is, I think you're basing your standards sa UP, kasi you mentioned that a while ago, but UP is known to have very successful fraternities and sororities because they
Kaya
can
kailangan
hold
natin dagdagan ng
organizations.
pangil, no? Para hindi lamang limitado yung maayos implementasyon sa UP, ngunit sa iba't iba pang universidad, no?
But that is UP. They are a very prestigious organization. What
Yes,
about
technically,
other
because
schools?
UP is a prestigious university.
Exactly.
Kaya nga dapat,
What about less prestigious universities that cannot handle, like you said already, they're meant to be exclusive groups. Schools
Kaya
are
nga
not
dapat
meant to...
nating mas palawakin yung anti-hazing law itself instead sa pag-abolish ng fraternity. Kasi kung mas papalawakin at mas papalakas sa ating anti-hazing law, hindi lamang yung UP ang magiging pamantay sa pagkakaroon ng magandang fraternity and sorority. Pagkus, pati rin na yun ang mga ibang fraternities.
Can we not
universities.
do that even with fraternities outside of the school? Can we not add teeth to the law even when they're functioning outside of the school? Kasi ano bang ginagawa ng mga fraternities within the school? Ano bang kailangan nila within the school? Recruitment. They do that online as a matter of fact. Recruitment happens online. So if we take them outside of the school, what's the point of having them inside? While they're functioning outside, they can keep their activities, they can do whatever they want, but we can also strengthen the actual law. We can add the teeth that you're looking for while they're functioning outside of the school.
Okay, maraming salamat, Ken and Anton. Marky, Francine, sa tingin nyo ba, nagiging paraan ba ang fraternities and sororities sa mga kabataan upang patunayan ang kanilang identidad o pagkalalaki in a sense of the fraternities, no? Marky?
Totoo yun. And that's the reason why we recognize its constitutional right to exist still outside campus premises. Pero ano nga ba yung mga neophyte? Neophyte is the example of it is yung mga freshmen. Yung mga tao that are lost and they want to navigate their college life. At kaya kami sinusuportahan namin na ma-abolish ito sa loob ng paaralan is because the student organizations, academic organizations already are aligned with the niche interest of students. For example, debate society, if you want to develop your oral communication, or student leadership for student government, or like other auditory or other organizations that specialize with your program, college programs. So therefore, that's the reason why we are pro-abolishment. Because that's already a better, the best alternative for
Okay.
those neophytes, those people that are trying to navigate their college lives.
Maraming salamat, Marky. Francine.
Navigating the college life, it comes with a multifaceted aspect. So, given na lost ang mga freshmen natin, mga sophomores natin, who are you to limit their options when it comes to their ideologies, when it comes to their stances in life, and of course, when it comes, kung ano yung mga pagpipiliin nila when it comes to joining a certain organizations. We must remember that sororities and of course fraternities is also a part of organizations. Ang naiiba lang, mas mahigpit lang yung kapit nito when it comes to formal institutions dahil madalas naman sila yung tumataligsa kung ano yung mga norms and dogmatic principles dun sa mismong school.
Okay,
Kaya
with that being said, can you provide me an example other than UP, which is an exception, huge exception to the rule, na meron talagang mas ideal and talagang nag-a-adhere sa anti-hazing law? Di ba wala? Because these fraternities, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. We don't know what's being unchecked. And these fraternities are, totoo yung sinasabi ni Miss na, it's the
Okay.
the designation rights may be a point of proving the masculinity of someone, but at the same time,
Oh, sige. Hold that thought, Francine.
not just masculinity or any patriarchal sense, let's go beyond that. So when we come to initiations, pati mga ginagawang passage rites when it comes to the sororities and of course fraternities, doon natin nasusubok yung commitment na sinasabi. So mas stronger ang buds when it comes to the frats and sororities.
But
Doon
when we
natin, doon natin mapagkukunan ng pansin, pati hindi doon nahadlangan kung ano yung mismong adhikain ng mga fraternities, pati sororities inside. So if you were to abolish inside the campus yung mga fraternities and sororities natin, you were just undermining and of course overlooking the oversight mismo kung paano natin nahawakan yun sila.
Sige, wait lang. Baka magdagdag tayo ng additional layer kasi medyo umiikot yung discussion natin on who is accountable for what, no? So, sa mga kaso ng hazing, balik tayo sa nabanggit ng inyong mga team leaders or members, no? Sino ang mas dapat managot? Ang miyembro, ang organisasyon, o ang universidad, o yung paaralan? Sino ba dapat ang nananagot kapag may mga kasong ganito? Marky?
ang dapat na nananagot ay mga fraternities themselves, because the fraternities themselves are the people or the organizations that inserted themselves within a university premises. Therefore, yung university, they have the prerogative to still approve their existence in the campus premises or not. Kaya yung responsibility, yung burden for the accountability will always fall within its fraternity and the hierarchy that it establishes, the institutional hierarchy that establishes within the campus premises and within its existence.
Okay, so ibig sabihin, sa'yo, it's the community or the organization na dapat sumagot, hindi yung miyembro na nagkasala. Bakit? O sige, Francine.
For me naman po, we don't need to shift the blame or we don't need to point fingers. Dapat lahat madagot kapag merong nangyayaring masamang when it comes to organizations. Hindi lang mismong fraternity and sororities, but all over the organizations. One point there is that hindi lang naman ang mga frat leaders ang mga nangunguna when it comes to initiations. Minsan ang mga pagkakamali ay nagfo-fall din under sa mga members. Minsan mismo din sa oversight ng school. So for me, dapat kung merong may kasalanan, lahat dapat mananagot. We don't need to point fingers there. But of course, when it comes to monitoring and of course the development of the fraternities, we should also have a certain limit and a certain yun nga sinasabi ng isa kong kasama, pangil when it comes to the
But as cases proves, these fraternities have inherent resistance to regulations and policies, which is yung university, meron silang policy, may
I beg to
regulations sila.
disagree
Yung
when it
government,
comes
meron
to the
silang
inherent
policies. That's why
resistance.
anti-hazing law,
Because
that's why
the
anti-hazing
fraternities
law
and
exists.
sororities
Pero bakit
serve
kahit na
as
nag-exist
a
yung
civil
anti-hazing law,
society
bakit kahit habang
inside the
kahit
formal
it's my time,
institution of
Miss Francine.
Ooh,
So
okay.
bakit kahit na
Inside.
bakit
It's
na
free
nag-exist
flow,
yung
so I
anti-hazing
guess
law,
I can-
bakit may namamatay pa rin?
Anti-hazing law is there for a reason. Kaya nga makikita pa rin natin yung mga
That's the reason why-
certain cases which is really good.
That's the
na
reason
na-point
why
out ninyo.
why
Pero
fraternities
abolishing
should be the
fraternities
the
in
fraternities
society,
themselves,
when
within
it
themselves,
comes to
should
inside
police
the
these
campus,
things
we would
happening
only
within
use
them.
the
They
clique
are
when
the
it
one
comes.
who should be addressing
Fraternities
these
are
matters.
not entirely bad.
Because-
Sororities are not entirely bad. They serve as civil society and they also help and aid those sophomores na sinasabi mong lost in comes to their navigating their journey in life. Hindi natin may pagkakailangan mga ambag ng mga sororities na ito, ang ambag ng mga fraternities na ito when it comes to the actual life and practicality of the student inside the campus.
But what we are saying is that these fraternities themselves should be the one accountable for policing
It's
the
okay
things,
if there is
the
an
isolated
accountability.
cases
When we
of
talk
mga
about
namamatay.
accountability,
Kasi
there is
meron
no
namang-
shame
Wait,
when
it's
it
my
comes-
time, Miss Francine.
It's free flow, so I guess I can...
Anti-hazing law exists. University regulations exist. University regulations exist. But still, marami pa rin mga namamatay, marami pa rin hindi sumusunod sa batas. So, kaya that's the reason why yung mga fraternity members, yung mga fraternities, hierarchies, sila dapat yung pupulis sa sarili nila. Because as isolated, as
And
cases
once again,
proves,
when it comes to
hindi
youth
sila sumusunod sa batas.
counterculture and when citing the modernity of the fraternities and sororities now, it is far beyond, more developed and substantiated far kaysa ng mga nakaraan. So I think it is safe to believe na hindi dapat talaga i-abolish ang mga fraternities and sororities.
Okay, maraming salamat, Marky and Francine. Balik tayo one last time, Ken and Alin. Since na alam ng ibang mga eskwelahan na may nangyayaring hazing or at least culture of violence in whatever organizations are there in their schools, should we say na parang these schools are like enablers? Masasabi niyo bang enablers or parang cahoots ang school sa pag-promote ng ganitong kultura ng violence? Ikaw na.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, kasi?
Kasi pinakauna, sabi nila kanina, dapat may control din yung school, dapat monitor. Kung monitor talaga nila, dapat alam nila.
Okay.
Dapat alam nila kung kailan yung initiation ka. Dapat alam nila kung sino yung mga estudyanteng nandoon. Alam nila kung anong tapos. Dapat alam nila kung ano yung program. Like other organizations do na nagpe-present sa SDAW, ina-approve, binababa, binabantayan, may report. Dapat ganun din. Kung totoong naniniwala tayo, dapat school din yung may pananagutan. But then, again, yung mga schools na meron tayo ngayon, they're not into it anymore.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we cannot definitely said na sila ang enabler kasi pag sabi natin enabler, ibig sabihin they have known that there is an existence culture of violence. Masabi natin na ang kakulangan sa mga school institution o university institution ay kulang sila on the grievances, kulang sila on the welfare. May kakulangan sila pero hindi sila natin masabi na enabler. Yes, some schools are enablers but some majority of the schools that have an existence of fraternities and sororities have the kakulangan or lacking when it comes to the grievance and welfares.
Kung pagbabawal natin yung fraternities in school grounds, balik tayo doon sa ano nyo hindi ba mas delikado siya kasi mas magkaka-avenue na maging underground or mas secretive, mas exclusive ang organization? And we do know na sometimes exclusivity endorses more members. Alin?
The thing that we're proposing is ilayo na natin agad yung mga estudyante from it.
Okay.
That's why we're giving it. Kasi meron rin namang batas sa labas
Okay.
na mas mataas pa.
Okay.
Mas may amendments, mas maraming layers kaysa dito sa school. So, this sororities, kung mas mag-exist sila sa school with the monitoring, hindi ba parang mas mahirap siyang gawin? Kung sa labas nga, kung sa
Ayun yung punto ng argumento. Kasi kung ilalabas natin yung fraternities and sororities, mas magkakaroon ng chances na meron tayong outside force or external personalities or authorities na sadyang magpapalala ng kultura ng hazing or kultura of violence. Ngayon, kung nasa loob lamang siya ng institusyon o kung nasa loob lamang siya ng kanyang eskwelahan, hindi lamang anti-hazing law ang siyang magiging pangil para sa existence of fraternities and sororities. Nandyan din ang mga school policies and also disciplinary guidance na siyang magsisecure na even though there's a existing fraternities and sororities here in our university, we have the pangil in order to ensure na mayroong safety ang mga kabataan.
Okay. Ang pagbaban ba ng fraternities and sororities, wag na kalimutan yung sororities, ay tunay bang solusyon o hindi nito natutugunan ang mas malalim na ugat ng problema tulad ng karahasan at kultura sa loob ng mga exclusive organizations na to? Alin?
hakbang siya.
Okay.
Hakbang siya kasi nagpe-prevent na tayo ng mas maraming recruitments.
Okay.
Kasi lately, mas madaming estudyante yung mas napapahamak. So, hakbang siya. It's a step. Sa mas marami pa tayong hakbang na gagawin para matapos na yung violence inside the fraternities itself.
Okay.
Kapag nag-start na tayo doon, Hindi siya malilimitahan, pero mauubos na yung mga kaso, kukonti na, wala na halos cases, wala nang mamamatay na brother at sister para patunayan yung sarili nila na worthy sila for the commitment and connection.
Tandaan natin na ang culture of violence ay di lamang nabubuo sa loob ng fraternities at sororities. Nagkakaroon din ng culture of violence sa labas nito. Tandaan natin na pwede din natin maging mekanismo kasi si fraternities at sororities para ma-ensure natin na move forward natin ang students' welfare and grievances. No? So kasi, for example, kayo na pa-example ng UP, PUP is also existing as one of the good model of having fraternities and sororities, no? Na hindi lamang pag-move ng social issues, hindi lang pag-move ng student welfare and grievances sa kanilang move, but also the idea of educational help.
Palit tayo ulit. Gusto ko marinig si Max and si Anton. Siyempre sa huling pahayag natin mula sa inyo, sagutin natin yung tanong, bakit ba na dapat or hindi dapat na ipagbawal ang mga fraternities and sororities sa loob ng paaralan? Anton.
Well, we've already emphasized multiple times that there are many reasons as to why. Fraternities and sororities are an outdated source of organization or connection. Second, there are much safer alternatives, much safer student organizations that can promote the same thing and have the same benefits. And third, quite frankly, because we want to abolish these organizations, these fraternities and sororities inside the campus because they already exist outside. Having them prevented from working inside allows us to actually contain them from outside the school premises. So kasi even if you say that yes, having them inside would mean more monitoring, but your side yourself has also admitted that these sororities and fraternities function as separate individuals. They do not function under the school. So what monitoring is there already to begin with?
Thank you, Anton. Last
If
statement.
if you remove these sororities or fraternities outside of school, you're removing them their democratic institutional rights of having the right to form their organizations of different ideologies, not just constraining within those ideologies.
Is
Kasi if
democratic right
itatanggal
really-
mo siya within the institutions, within the schools, tatanggal mo siya ng added institutional layer of protection, of safeguards, of monitoring of these fraternities, dahil magkakaroon ng chance, malaking chance na they will be underground fraternities and sororities na hindi kayang protektahan ng maraming institutions, ng maraming levels of other safeguards.
Once again, maraming salamat to our debaters. Sa aming pagbabalik, ating namang alamin sino nga ba ang best speaker. So, syempre, excited na tayong lahat. Marami ang agit na agit sa topic na to sa ating episode na ito. No? So, dapat dito, mag-stay tuned lamang kayo at magbabalik tayo dito lamang sa Schoolmates!